Hey everybody, it's Jeff and Lauren and Mom.
Hi.
Hello.
We wanted to let you know that we are going to be changing the format of our show, right, Lauren?
Yes, we will be adding a variety of different content in order to keep things fun and interesting both for you and for us.
We still have some episodes left of our normal programming, but coming soon, things are going to look and sound a lot different.
We hope you've enjoyed our past episodes like we have, and we hope that you'll continue to stay with us as our program evolves.
Yeah, so enjoy this week's episode and look forward to what's coming soon. And we love you. Goodbye.
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 Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to My Mama Done Told Me. This is episode number 32. My name is Jeff, and I'm trying to throw off Catherine Ray's algorithm
There you
by
go.
changing my voice a little bit to bring in some of the
Lauren.
low end.
Yes, and my name is Lauren.
The other host,
The other host,
Hosty Hoster.
the host with the mostest.
And you should talk more like a Russian or whatever it is that you talk.
Russian.
Oh man, I don't know if I can do that. It's been so long.
Oh, Lauren, but you're so good at it.
I know, but
I know.
I try.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway.
Anyway.
Anyway. All right. So here's
Excuse me.
another episode. We're here. We're together. We're hanging out.
We're
Yeah.
playing with Trixie's
We're playing with
hair.
Trixie's hair.
Oh, tricks.
She's all
She likes it.
hi
Where's the
there.
best girl? Look
She likes it.
you touched your tongue.
I know.
All right. So let's go to Catherine Ray and see what our topic of
what's our-
conversation is
What's
for
our Taco Bell today?
Catherine Ray. Take it away.
Hey, Mama, Jeff and Lauren. It's your old pal, Catherine Ree again.
Hi, Catherine Ray.
Catherine.
Can you believe we are already on episode 32?
No.
I know I can't.
Me
Me
either.
neither.
Anyway, today I'd like you to describe a time when someone's words had a powerful effect on you, either positive or negative. Talk to you later.
Okay. I mean, Catherine Reed just
Hold
had
on.
an
I wanna-
effect on
I
me.
want to hear the laugh again.
Yeah.
The laugh was my favorite. One more time.
Okay.
Here we go.
Hey, Mama, Jeff and Lauren.
Hi.
So,
It's your old pal, Catherine Ree again. Can you believe we are already on episode 32? I know I can't. Anyway, today I'd like you to describe a time when someone's words had a powerful effect on you,
Oh.
either positive or negative. Talk
Wow.
to you later.
That every time, both times that happened, I thought one of you two were going. Oh man.
That's funny.
that is funny.
Yeah. All right. Thanks, Catherine Ree.
Yep.
Catherine Ray.
Catherine Ree.
I guess it would be Catherine Ree because I'm Jeffrey.
That's how
not
he
Jeff
says
Ray.
it.
Jeffrey. He says Catherine
Yeah.
Ray.
Let's
but
hear. Let's hear his name.
He says,
Hey, Mama, Jeff and Lauren.
So loud.
It's your old pal, Catherine Ree again.
Catherine
Ree.
Ree.
Catherine
Like
Ree.
Catherine
Yeah.
Ree.
Mhm.
Like Jeffrey.
like a
Jeffrey.
catheter.
Jeffrey.
I'm not Jeffrey.
I know that.
Okay,
and
you
that's-
named me.
I know. I made sure you were not Jeffrey. That was very, very important to me that you were not Jeffrey.
I got a certificate from the Navy that spelled it Jeffrey, and my Dern insurance card right now says Jeffrey, which gave me problems when I was at the dermatologist the other day. But that's all right. They got to figure it out. But
Oh.
they were like, "We're showing you're not covered." I'm like, "I like hell I'm not. I pay for that every day.
Look
Yeah,
again.
no kidding.
Check it again.
See, keep
Run the
talking like that,
numbers."
and Catherine Ray's gonna have a real different
Right.
sound.
Right.
Yes, he is. What's up?
Ooh.
I'll start.
We should. Ralph.
You Scooby Doo.
Anyway, all right. So Catherine Ray asked us, describe a time when someone's word has a powerful impact on you, positive or negative.
Mm-hmm.
There's been a lot of powerful words said to me in my life, and I don't know if it's just my state of mind lately or what's going on, I'm really struggling to pull these words to
I
the
didn't have
front.
a hard time at all with this
Really?
one. This one was easy because I feel like even though it wasn't like some
Profound.
profound, great, like during your wedding or during your graduation or
Right.
during a time in your life, it was just life that
Maybe-
I remember something happening and being said that I can remember like yesterday.
See, I wonder if maybe I was searching for the profound too hard.
Yeah,
So maybe
maybe.
while we're going, I'll see if I can't put. There was one thing that came to my head, and I will talk about that one just so I have one to talk Taco Bell.
Okay.
But so I'll start since I've already been talking forever. It feels like. One time when someone's word had a powerful effect on me was, I just realized this might come across as too personal.
Oh,
My daughter told me that she understood why her mom and I didn't want to have kids. And that was because she understood that they were enough for me. So that was a powerful impact on
Wow.
me because
Yeah.
not that obviously that it would change my mind if it wasn't,
Right.
but that's just what came to my mind for some reason,
Yeah.
that it was like, okay, good. You understand
yeah.
that that we are enough for you is what she said. And I thought in more ways than one.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's the thing that came to my head. And I'll continue to think while you guys
Yeah.
talk to me about yours.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to think of times where somebody said something to me that
You
affected,
carried with you.
that I carried,
You carried on.
and that affected. I mean, there's been times where people have said things that are rude, and that kind of makes me
Yeah.
go, ugh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't know that that's worth talking about, and I don't even.
Yeah.
So what came to your guys' head? Maybe something else will spark for
Do you
me.
want to go first?
You go first.
Okay, so the first one that
I
I
went
have
first, technically.
Well, I'll go
was
second.
okay, but I
I know.
meant before Lauren.
Forlorn.
First one was in high school, and it's really not a big deal, except it stayed with me all this time, even now. Driver's education.
Oh wow.
There's 3 other kids, or maybe there was 3 of us and the driver, teacher, instructor, whatever you call him, and we all had to take turns driving every time. And at the end of our sessions, he told the other kids, he pointed at me and he said, "She'll never be in front of a judge in traffic court, because she has paid attention and she's learned and she can keep her head where it needs to be when she's driving.
Wow.
Take note." And that stuck with me.
Yeah.
Even now when I drive, I think I remember,
Yeah.
which lane to turn into. I remember this. I remember
Right.
that. I remember things, and never been in traffic court.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think about that often. That really, I don't know how it made those other kids feel,
Right.
but it sure made me feel good,
Yeah.
and it made me want to be a better driver.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that's not the reason he did it, but it
Well, it
really
may-
did stick with me.
I mean, you never know when your words are going to stick like
Right.
that to somebody.
Right.
But when
So do we
so
want to
that's
go
an
on? or-
interesting one.
I think it was.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just something from it's almost
Yeah.
childhood, it's
Yeah.
probably 16.
Yeah.
And that was a positive thing that I remembered. And I think it did affect
And it
me
reinforced-
It
yeah,
really did have a positive effect on
Yeah.
how I continued to drive and want to be a responsible driver. Whoops.
Okay. Impactful words. Lauren, do you have something in your mind?
I do.
Okay.
I have a few.
Okay.
I do remember, like, throughout my childhood and even my adult life, I know that my mom has made an impact on me by telling, like, I don't have like a specific time or anything, but I never once have doubted because I've been told multiple times throughout my life that my mom is proud of me. And that made a big impact on me, just knowing that,
Right.
you know, that there's really not a whole lot I can do that's going to make my mom, like, it's, the love is unconditional there, and I don't have to worry about that. And so that obviously is a big impact. So I
Yep.
wanted to make sure to mention that. And then
And
I wanted
can
to
I
go
can I
ahead.
chime
Yeah.
in there? I agree, and that's, you know, I remember as a kid sort of getting poked fun at sometimes because of how often our family would say I love you and
Love you,
whatnot.
love
Yeah,
you.
love you, and but it was just such a normal part of our dialogue. And at the time, I remember there was a time in my life, I'm sure, you know, where, you know, you don't really want your mom holding your arm, and
Right.
Oh yeah.
you know, and you
But I
you
think I
don't-
was pretty.
you were always pretty
cognizant
good at
of that,
What
I think.
I actually remember we had a conversation one time where I believe I had the wherewithal enough to say, Mom, like, it's not that I don't love you. Like, is it okay if when we walk in, you're not just like
Holding me.
holding my arm? Like, I don't know if I really like that anymore. And I'm sure that probably broke your heart a little
No,
bit.
I
But
don't remember it. So there
oh,
you go.
well, good.
Yeah. It's probably time.
Yeah. And, you know, so that there was a time in my life as a young boy that was, but, and so there was probably also a time that I thought, like, love you too, you know, like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't want my friends to hear me
Yeah.
say that kind of thing. But I remember, and I know now, and I'm very happy that we did that. I'm glad that we, you know, were able to express that and know that we do that in our family here all the time. Even when things are rough, we
Yeah.
usually can at least get that.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
and I think it helps. It's a nice
does.
little reinsurance that even through all the stuff, no matter what's going on,
Yeah.
you can muster the courage and to say
Yeah.
what you really mean.
Yeah.
Even if you've just
Share
been
your heart.
awful, you know, or whatever.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yep.
Anyway, continue, Lauren. I just wanted to kind of
Yeah.
chime in there because that's what I do. I interrupt and
It's fine.
I talk too much.
You can say that again.
I talk too much.
I'm just joking. You don't talk too much. But I also want to, and so if this story, please don't ruin it if this story is not how it is.
Okay.
Okay?
Yes.
Well, not you, her.
How,
Oh, okay.
This
Because
is
I'm the
from
one
when
that
I was in first grade, and I remember
Oh, it wasn't first grade.
what?
Just kidding. I'm trying to.
Oh, I see what you're doing. Okay. No, I don't. Here's what I remember.
You're gonna tell the story
I
as you
remember-
remember it, and
Right. And I don't want anybody to tell me
start
otherwise.
correcting you. You know what? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I was in first grade, and there was this thing where the teacher had like a thing where it was like what is it called? A bulletin board
okay.
where like you were featured on the board,
Oh, I remember those.
and it was called Apple of My Eye.
Okay.
And I remember when I was the apple of my eye or whatever, I remember Dad sent me a rose with a little card that said, "You're the apple of my eye. I love you. Love, Dad."
Oh.
And that I've never forgotten that. So if that
Wow.
wasn't actually Dad, please don't tell me because
Okay.
I love that.
Yeah.
And that is, cut that part out that I said about Dad.
What? What do you mean? Which part?
The part where I said if it wasn't really Dad, because I don't want him to think that I don't know that
Would
he
doubt it.
listens, but
And
yeah,
Oh.
well, let me interject.
Yeah.
It was your dad.
Good.
So
thank God.
Do I have to cut that out now?
No.
Okay.
No, but I just don't want him to think that I ever doubted it. I didn't until I went to say it, and I was like, oh gosh, what if this isn't how I, like, what if it
Dad didn't
wasn't?
send that. That
I
was.
did that.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
oh my God, what?
Yeah.
No, but that stuck with me, and
Yeah.
because Dad and I have a great relationship, and we, same as with you, we've always said we loved each other.
Right.
He never had anything like that, but that just really stood out because I felt like it was special,
yeah,
and it wasn't something that it wasn't something that always happened.
Yeah.
You know,
He's not.
He's a kind of a more reserved guy.
Right.
He's not. one
not
to
not
like
as
send
likely to do
flowers or whatever, yeah.
something that thoughtful
Right.
as like mom will do that a lot, which is
Mm-hmm.
great. That's
Yeah,
that's
I mean-
not, and that's not to say that those things lose any
No,
any
for sure not.
power.
I understand.
But it does when it's a little more unexpected.
Yep.
It kind of hits a little differently.
And man, I remember that classroom. I remember the day. I remember the card. I remember everything.
Yeah.
Who's
And
your
it was
tea-
just
do you remember who your teacher
Mrs.
was?
Shaw.
That's right.
Yeah. But yeah, so that made an impact on me just because it was unexpected and it came from my dad and I felt like it was really special.
It was.
And even though the words are something that he said to me on a daily basis, it wasn't
it was an act.
it was yeah.
It was an act of
Yeah.
love that you
and
really
but
stuck
the
with you.
words
Yep.
are
Yep.
were just as powerful as the
Yeah.
the action
Rose.
or whatever. Yeah, the whatever
Yeah.
you want to call that.
Yep. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
good one.
So those were my two that I thought for family, but then I had one that was like more of like a teacher thing, like
Yeah.
mom was talking about.
Yeah.
I remember when I was at Metro and I was taking I think it was just English 1 or something. And we had to do 3 papers throughout the class. And I remember the first paper that I did, I handed it in and it was like a rough draft. We had to hand in a rough draft and she read our rough drafts to the class. And I remember her reading all of them. And when she was done, she like said to me, if I were to grade this right now, I'd give you an A+.
Wow.
This is great.
Wow.
Even
that's
if you
awesome.
didn't change anything, I would give you an A+. Well, guess what? I didn't change anything and she gave me a B.
What?
Yeah, because
You didn't change it.
I didn't change anything.
Yeah.
Even though she was
You
like,
didn't
I
strive to do
expected
just a little
you
bit.
to
Yeah. Yeah.
To
go
step
that
up
ever.
even
Add a
Yeah.
little
extra
bit
mile.
And I was
yeah.
like,
Yeah.
do you realize I have like a 6-month-old baby at home, right?
Yeah.
Hey, you told me
You
I did
told me
A+
A+.
work. Why would I keep doing?
Right. I'm not
If-
going to mess with perfection.
Right. If anything else, that should be called efficiency.
Right.
Yeah.
I
Exactly.
got it right the first time. Why would I?
Yeah.
Why would I correct it?
But for my writing,
Right.
that really, felt good to hear
Well,
because
it's
that's something that,
motivational.
that's
It's
something
very
that I wanted,
motivational.
I still strive to do is
Yep.
Yeah.
to write and be published and things like that. And if I can impress an English teacher who also, taught creative writing and
Yeah.
was a writer, a published author herself, that to me was really, really kind of cool. And so that was
Yeah.
powerful.
I had a similar experience.
I was going to bring it up. If you
What?
didn't, I think.
Go ahead, tell my story. Yeah, I want to know if it's the same
want to
story.
quit doing that, but it's
No, you're
from
fine.
Bellevue, from your college when that teacher told you that. If I get this wrong, you can correct me, of course. But where she talked about how she hoped you would go on to be.
Yeah, so it was just one of that's the same thing I
Yeah,
was
you
going to
go
say.
ahead. Yep.
It was just basically a gen ed class. It wasn't anything to do with my degree or anything like that. It was a speech class. It was a like public speaking class, which now I don't really have too much. And maybe this had something to do with my change of heart, but at the time I was still not super confident with that. And I did a couple projects, and she always gave me very good feedback. It was well thought out answers or whatever. And I did a project. My final project, I think, was on straight edge and what that means and why that could be an impactful thing, and like what it is, where it came from. And I gave a speech and a presentation about it and everything. And I remember she did send me like a private message that was just like, you've got something in this and in your delivery and all this, and that I think you could go on to really make an impact if you wanted to. And
She talked about, didn't
That's
she say
cool.
something about it was like almost as if this could be thesis material, and
Yeah.
it
Oh,
was
that's
already
neat.
the beginning of
right, yeah,
a
something
successful
like that.
thesis thing. And
Yep.
I mean, it was very encouraging.
Yeah, absolutely. And I remember even after that class going, like, thinking at that point, should I pursue something like this? Like, it made me question what I was doing because
Yeah.
of that. And I think that shows you shows you the power of words.
Yeah.
Because how many times have we been sought out by somebody to fill a role? And you consider doing that role even if you don't really want to, because that person or those people said, you've got what we
good at
want.
it.
Thought enough
You would
of
be
you
good
to
at
think you'd
this.
be good at it.
That you go,
I
that
could do
feels
that."
nice.
Yeah, maybe I would be good at.
You know, for me, it's, Jeff, we need a drummer and we love your style and we love, what you're doing. Would you consider playing drums with us? Well, I've considered playing drums with bands that I would never play with that didn't
Yeah.
actually do it, because I go, well, that's flattering.
Yeah.
And that's very thoughtful that you thought of me for that. And, Lauren, we think you'd be great for this position. You have all the things we're looking for. And you're going,
That is
Not
never
what-
something
something
that
that
I
I-
would have done on my own.
but you go, maybe would I like that? Would I be good at that? So the encouraging words that
Yeah.
you say to people, Mom, do you have any thoughts about that, or times that maybe that has happened to you?
I think a lot that happens. And I think I have to be
You would be the best president of the Quilt Bee.
those kind of things. And I have to be real careful to say no,
Right.
Yeah.
because otherwise the flattery will get me in trouble.
Because you take
Because
on
I
too
know
much.
I probably would be good at it,
Right.
and I probably could do a good job and
Mm-hmm.
enjoy, and I'd enjoy it too. But I'd overextend myself.
Yeah, you take on too much or something. Yeah.
So,
Yeah,
that happens a lot.
But I also think that to encourage each other and our listeners, maybe, that don't be afraid to say the encouraging, uplifting
Yep.
things. Tell someone when they did a really nice job on something.
Yep.
Tell them why you think they did it. Be
specific.
specific.
Yeah.
Go
Yeah.
out of your way and send
Yeah.
the rose to your daughter
Yeah,
or your
because you
friend.
probably won't ever forget it.
Right.
No.
Especially if that's not something you usually do. Build
Yeah.
that relationship.
Yeah.
Go out of your way to tell the student or someone around you that you're going to go places.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You've
Yeah.
got something in you.
Right.
I have one that could be negative, but I think it
Oh yeah.
actually
Let's
came
hear it.
in
Yeah.
as positive.
Mhm.
And that would be also back when I was a teenager and still 19 probably, when I moved out of home the first time to get an apartment with my friend.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And my mom was not happy with that.
Well, no, because she
No.
lost her babysitter.
Yeah.
And
And I remember
Her
she
cook.
just
Her
flew
alibi.
into
Yeah.
a rage. She put all my stuff on the front porch and locked me out. And,
Oh,
you know.
wow.
Yeah, it was not a pretty thing, but what she said to me was, "You will come crawling back. You'll never make it." I'll
And
never
guess what
forget
you
that.
didn't do?
I never went back. I mean, I
Wow.
went back, but not to live.
Right.
And I made it my life's goal to succeed and not have to go back.
I'm not. Sometimes
I'm
that
not
negative
going back.
reinforcement
Yeah.
is
I
powerful
will
too.
work 2 jobs if I have to. I'll do what I need to do. I'm going to pull up my bootstraps.
Yeah.
I'm going to be resilient. I'm going to, and I mean, honestly, there were times when we really didn't have any money. My roommate
And you probably
I.
could have
We
gone back home.
we would go to the grocery store and buy packages of chicken hearts and gizzards because they were 10 cents a pound, you guys.
Oh my
And we'd
gosh.
buy a thing of carrots and celery and we would make chicken soup, and that's what we would eat.
Mm-hmm.
Or we would muster up enough money, including pennies, to go to a bar on a Saturday and buy a beer, because by this time we were old enough to drink.
Mm-hmm.
And we'd count out our nickels and pennies and dimes and buy a beer, share a beer, and they'd have sandwiches on Saturday during the football games and stuff. And that's where we'd eat lunch.
Wow.
So, but I wasn't going to go back home and tell
Yeah.
Mom I was hungry. I wasn't going to go back.
Right.
No way.
never
You're
did.
not going to give you the satisfaction of
No.
being right about that.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
So that was a
The-
negative words,
right.
but it
And
worked
think-
for the positive.
Well, and thinking, yes, it did.
Yeah.
And
Thank goodness, because
Yeah.
it could have gone the other way.
Yeah.
I can think of some. I'm not going to talk about them, but I can think of some things that were said to me that you know, I believed for a really long time, and that's just as powerful. And it's like
Yes.
if you are told something enough and you start to believe it, even if it's not true, it can still have a really powerful effect on how
Absolutely,
you
I know.
present yourself and how you
Believe in yourself.
Yeah, what you think of your own self, even though it's not your own opinion. If you're told it so many times, it's like, oh man, maybe
Right.
I am that way. Maybe that is how I am, and I'm never gonna get
Same as
Yeah.
if you say you're really good at this. I didn't think
Yeah.
that I was, but if you think I am,
Yeah.
then maybe I am.
right. It can go the
you're,
opposite.
You're
way.
an awful
right.
little piece of shit.
Mm-hmm.
Well, maybe I am.
Yep.
I mean, that can be, you know, and
Yeah, words are really
yeah,
powerful.
they're
Yeah.
powerful.
and thinking about the situation you just talked about, Mom, how much different could it have been if a mother would have said, I don't think that you're ready to go.
But I'm here if you need
I'm
me.
here if you need me.
Yeah.
Best of luck.
Yeah,
If you come back, I'll be here.
Right.
right.
Well, essentially, she's not saying the same thing. To give the benefit of some doubt, that's probably what she meant. She probably, I mean, I don't,
Maybe.
I know that there's feelings there, but if she probably meant more like, you're not ready, so you'll be back. Well, could that have been in a wiser, more, you know,
Yeah,
Less narcissistic
right
way.
person have found a better way to say that? Yeah, especially when there wasn't alcohol and
yeah.
whatever
There was
else.
so much going on back then. That it
Right,
was
and so I'm
like,
not trying to. Not trying
No,
to
no.
give credit where credit's not due.
No.
I definitely don't mean that, but.
But there might be an instance where somebody's mom may say something like that in a way that could have been said a little bit more eloquently,
right,
or a little bit more,
right. Maybe not that situation exactly, but yes, I think a lot of times, you know, parents screw up. We know that,
Oh yeah,
but like. And you're never going to get it completely right, you
Right.
know, in the
I
way
don't
that
think
you
there
say
is
things.
such a thing.
Right. But to be at least aware that if I say, go ahead, you'll be coming back, you'll be
Mm-hmm.
crawling back to me. Well, what does that make a kid feel?
Right.
Exactly what you felt.
Yeah.
yeah,
But if you say, my advice is you're not ready because of A, B, and C,
Mm-hmm.
but you're of an age,
yeah,
go give it a shot. Best of luck. I'm here if you need me.
yeah.
I
It
mean,
would that in a perfect world that would have been
Right.
really the right thing to do, and even in our situation because
Right.
of what was going on, for her to say it would have been better for her to say, Kathy, I need you at home.
Right.
Yeah.
I need you to watch the kids. I have to work.
can't do it by
need you. I
myself.
can't do this
Yeah.
by myself. I'll make it
Good
is-
point. Yeah.
Yeah.
because that was the whole thing. It
Okay,
had
yeah.
nothing to do with me being ready or her
Right.
being afraid for me to be ready. She
Okay.
needed
She
me
needed
there
you.
to help her.
Yeah.
Good point. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And had she articulated that, would it have changed anything? Maybe not.
maybe not.
Maybe.
And there would have been other things that would have had
Right.
to change too, but
Yeah.
Right.
but yeah. But
Yeah.
bottom line was she didn't
Yeah.
want me to go
Right.
because she needed me at home.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Or she thought she did. Well, she
Yeah.
did.
she did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She did.
Well, and then that's just a good thing to keep in mind too, you know, when we're talking about how powerful words are, like positive and negative. You have to keep that in mind too, because we talk to ourselves all the time.
Oh yeah.
And how we talk to ourselves can really make an impact. You know, there's such thing as negative self-talk and
yeah.
affirmations and things like that for a reason. You know, people say nice things to themselves in the mirror every day to hype themselves up and to get themselves in a mood to go out and try to do the best, have the best day that
Yeah.
they possibly can
Yep.
for a reason. Because arguably we are the hardest on ourselves
Oh, yeah.
than we are on anybody else or anybody else
That's
is on
true.
us.
Right.
So if we're, you know, no matter what Jeff or Mom is saying to me,
If I truly
if
believe.
if I'm in my own head telling myself what a piece of crap I am,
Right.
or how ugly I am, or what a bad mom I am, or whatever, and everybody, even if other people are saying, no, you're, whatever.
You can talk
building
yourself out of believing
up.
them. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just as powerful. So it kind of cancels each other out if you're doing that. So
It can,
it's just
yeah.
really important to remember that the way you think, even if you're not saying it out loud to yourself, but the way you're talking to yourself internally, the inner dialogue that you have every day is so important to try to keep that positive so that you're not bringing yourself down, because that is a huge source of depression. And, everybody,
And then it can
happens to us all.
snowball on itself so quickly.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
And we have a very, for as advanced and as smart as our brains are, they're also very simple in a lot of ways, to where it's the reason that when you watch a movie, you can feel the fear when they feel the fear, or
Right.
Or
you
you cry when they're sad.
cry when
yeah.
something sad happens, even though that's not really happening. That's a
Or fall off the couch when they're 100 feet up in the air.
right, exactly. That's what I mean.
Yeah.
Because our brains are
Empathetic.
empathetic,
Yeah.
and they're in a lot of ways kind of dumb.
Yeah.
Because there's a certain part of our brain that sees it happening in front of you, so it thinks it's happening to you. That's a different part of our brain goes, no, it's not. But it's the same kind of thing, like you were saying.
It
So
just quells up those feelings
Right.
that come up. Yeah.
So even if you don't, in the back of your head, I don't remember the different parts of the brain and
Yeah, I
what
don't
controls
know.
what. I forget all that.
Frontal lobe,
Right,
whatever,
the
blah,
hippocampus
blah,
and all that.
Yeah.
I always forget which areas do what. But regardless if the quote unquote back of your brain is saying you're failing, you're not doing well, you're ugly, or you're making a
Yeah.
whole bunch of bad decisions.
Right.
If the front of your brain, the external part, the part that you have a little bit more control over, is going, no, you got this. We're gonna get through this.
Right.
You're doing the best that you can. I just listened to a podcast that my therapist sent me, and I'm a good parent having a bad time.
Oh, yeah.
Like, those are powerful words that you can say to yourself, and you need to repeat to yourself, because you need to fool yourself into believing, into understanding
Yeah.
that, and
Well,
into
just
believing
coming
it.
to reckoning that
Right.
that's the truth.
So right, yes, and it feels silly sometimes. You watch the movie or you listen to some of us scoff at like the yogi who's sitting there going, I am
Yeah.
well, I am, because it
Or
feels
looking at yourself in the mirror and
Going,
saying, I am beautiful.
I am, yeah,
or
exactly.
whatever. Like, it feels weird.
It feels corny
stupid,
sometimes.
but
And it doesn't have to be like that. It doesn't
Yeah,
have to be a show. You don't have to get on Instagram and take a selfie of yourself going, I am beauty, I am power,
I am grace.
Yes. Yeah. Like, it
I'm
doesn't
in
have
control.
to be that. Do your thing, but it doesn't have to be like that. It can be you by yourself, and no one has to know about it.
In
You
your
going,
car,
Yeah.
thinking to yourself.
Yep.
these
Before
things.
you get out and go into work, or
Well, and
before,
for me, I back to the Bible again. I mean, you learn in the Bible what God thinks about you and what is true about you in
Right.
His eyes, and if you know those things, that's the best affirmations I
Right.
can get.
and you're reminding yourself of
Yeah,
those.
you're
That's why you
reminding-
do your
exactly.
devotionals in the
Right,
morning, or you
right.
do, you
Right.
pray, and that's essentially doing the same thing.
it is.
It's reminding yourself that this is
I
what
am,
it is,
I
and
am
I
a
am
perfectly made person
Right.
in the eyes of God, and here I am,
Mhm.
and He loves me, and He's given me everything I need for life, and
Yep.
all
Yeah.
that. So
right.
And that's
Reminding
really
yourself
good.
and convincing yourself of that.
yeah.
Yeah,
you know?
because it's not
And having
easy to
faith.
remember that.
No, and that's
Yeah.
what faith is. Faith
Sure.
is believing in something that you can't see,
Mhm.
and it builds your faith up.
Mhm.
But it's good.
Very good.
Yeah.
Okay, so again, we had another longish episode, but that's
Yeah.
okay. For our listeners, we want to know a time when someone's words had a powerful effect on you, either positive or negative. Tell us those stories. If you want to tell us those stories, the best way to do that is through our email, which is
My Mama Done Told Me podcast at gmail.com.
Yes.
Attention, Trixie.
Attention, Trixie. Yep. If you send us emails or put comments on our social medias or anything like that, we will read them on air. We haven't heard from you guys lately.
Yeah,
So
come on,
so
guys.
give us some love.
Something to work with.
Yeah. But anyway, even if you don't, that's
And
okay.
we can even have Catherine read them.
Oh, that'd be funny.
It would be funny.
Ooh, that's a good idea.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Ooh,
If you want to find, speaking of Catherine Ree, if you want to find our social media, all you got to do is go where, Mom?
Schweinoids.
Shoy noise.
Me and
Joy noise.
Catherine Ree.
Shoy noise. I wonder if I should try it, making him say shoy noise with a exclamation point.
Yeah.
Joy noise.
Because when I put exclamation points, it's like,
Hey, Mama, Jeff and Lauren.
Hey, Mama, Jeff and Lauren.
shoy noise. Coming not
Joy noise.
no plugged.
Joy noise.
Hey, Mama, I've been going.
You actually sounded like him.
I know. Well, he sounds like me.
I think he
They.
sounds more like.
They sound like
Whatever. Okay. Until next time, this has been My Mama Done Told Me. I'm Jeff,
I'm Lauren.
And Mama.
and that's Trixie. Hi, I'm Trixie.
Oh,
I'm Trixie. I'm
Trixie.
Trixie. We'll see you next time, Trixie. We hope you keep your minds open and be kind to each other.
Bye, everyone. We love you.
Bye. Love you.
Tell our listeners you love them.
I love you.
Oh.
All of you.
We hope you keep. We hope you
your
keep your
bubbly.
crotches open
And be
and be Michael Bublé to each other.
Peach.
Peach
Both of them
out.
are peach. Peach out.
That's Bellini Bliss.
Peach out.
Bliss.
Yeah, this is peach, pineapple, mango flavors.
This is
And yours
peach
is
pear.
Peach pear. Your name is peach. Is that what I just said? I don't know.
Your name is Peach Player.
Princess Peach.
Okay.
Ay, ay, ay.